Is Roanoke a really great place to retire?
Stay tuned to find out. Hey everybody, I'm Hal Cohn.
And I'm Chris Cohn with Cohn Realty Group.
This is your first time to our channel. Please make sure you relax in your hammock and you click that subscribe button and the little bell icon so you're notified each and every time we release a new video about living, working, and playing, and maybe retiring in Roanoke.
That's right. We have folks constantly contacting us saying they want to move to or within Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, or the surrounding areas. So if that's you, your friends, or your family, please let us know. Give us a call, send us a text, or shoot us an email. We'd love to have a conversation with you and answer any questions you may have.
You got it. All right, so we have some cool little drinks in our hands because, you know, we're thinking about retirement, right? Nah, not so much. However, you might be thinking about retirement, and if you are, then we're gonna tell you all about why Roanoke is a marvelous, fantastic, wonderful place for you to consider to retire for those golden years that you have ahead.
Yeah, and there's so many activities and things that people think of when they retire. They think about kicking back in a hammock like we are.
Cheers.
Or maybe RVing like the one you see behind us. Or maybe it's a more active lifestyle, walking outdoors, entertainment, volunteering. We'll go through all of that and we can't wait to dive in.
Oh yeah, so let's dive right on in, talking about retirement in the Roanoke Valley.
Absolutely.
Come on and see us.
And most people that retire here say that they relocated to Roanoke for a few very specific reasons. Can you guess one of them?
Let's see, active lifestyle.
Yeah. It has opportunities for a very active lifestyle, and you can choose your level of interest. You can be super aggressive and do triathlons, or you could just simply do some bird watching right off of your back porch. But another really important one is 4 seasons. We have 4 very distinct seasons.
Yep, so that would be
appealing.
winter, spring,
Summer, fall.
Summer, fall.
Good job, you passed the test.
All right.
What about cost of living?
It would be lower than the national average, especially on the housing front.
That's definitely appealing for sure. And the size of our community is a mid-sized community, yet it still has a lot of the amenities and a perfect location to visit many of your friends and family.
That's right. So we thought we would dive into the next segment here while we're walking along the Greenway here in Salem. Actually, today is where we're actually filming. And
we've passed a lot of people that are recreating in one form or another. They're fishing, they're walking their dogs, they're getting ready to go bike riding. They all seem to be retired.
Yes, so I would agree.
It's a pretty popular spot for retired folks.
So we're working while they're chilling,
I know.
getting their active lifestyle on this morning. So I'm proud of them for getting out and about and taking care of their old heart tickers by getting out there walking.
That's right, very important. So let's talk about neighborhoods and retirement communities, because you have to have a place to live when you move to the Roanoke Valley.
That's one of the first things people are always asking us about, right? Is like, not only why should I live there as far as like activities and amenities, but where am I going to live? Can I get what I need? And yes, you can.
Yeah, there's numerous retirement communities that provide different levels of care, like independent living, assisted living. There's also intensive assisted living, memory support, skilled nursing care and therapy, and also that outpatient therapy in case you need that.
Good gracious, that's a lot of care opportunities for you. And then some of the facilities that you can actually live in that are retirement communities would be like Friendship, Brandon Oaks, Richfield Living, Salem Terrace.
The Glebe.
The Glebe.
Yeah, and Woodland Hills. But there, you know what? There's a bunch.
There's a bunch of options for you if that's something you're looking for as well.
Right, but if you're thinking about more traditional neighborhood, you can find many neighborhoods that have plethora of ranch homes with 1-story living, and there's lots of areas with flat walkable lands.
So with those style of homes, with the flat yards in various areas here in our community, what do you think you're looking for price point wise? Well, it all depends, to be honest with you. When you're looking at some of the newer construction and some of the homes that people are really gravitating to that are retiring here, then you're looking in the 300s to 400s because construction costs are going up. And around here, when you're building new construction, it is hard to get a flat level lot. So there's a lot of excavation that goes into that. Now there are some houses that are already built that have been around for a while ranches over a basement, just ranch over a crawl space, those types of things that you can get into for a little bit cheaper, but you may have to modify a little bit so that you can make sure that you get your laundry room on that main level. That's one of the things we keep running across,
Right.
like the washer dryer in the basement, and that's not what people are looking for when they're looking for one level living. So there's some modifications you can make. If you're willing to make a little bit of a sacrifice on that and do it later, then you can get into something under 300. So, you know, anywhere from 250s to 400s where you're gonna be looking at, depending upon style, location, and exactly what the house looks like for you.
So another piece of good news, aside from the numerous neighborhoods and retirement communities, is continuing education. A lot of people don't want to stop learning. So the great news is if you're over 60, you can actually audit state, college, or university classes for free.
And we like free, don't we? Yes, we do. So anyway, so some of those places are gonna be Virginia Western, Virginia Tech, gonna be Radford,
Roanoke College.
Hollins.
Yes, Hollins University.
You've got a lot of places you can audit classes to continue to improve that brain acumen and just learn more about whatever you want to learn about. What are you interested in? All right, so you're retiring, and here's another reason that people are moving to Roanoke when they want to retire, because you want to remain active and you want things to do. You don't want to be bored in retirement.
No, there's so much to do no matter what your interest. So get a pen or a pencil and a notepad. I want you to jot some of these things down. I'll wait.
Waiting,
Just
waiting.
Okay, so some of the attractions that come off the top of my head are things like Mill Mountain Zoo, the Vinton War Memorial, beautiful tribute there, Transportation Museum, absolutely, all
Yep.
kinds of transportation. You know, our history lies in the railroad. I won't dive into that right now, but all you history buffs, check out the Roanoke history. It is really fantastic. Speaking of which, there's tons of history museums. We've got a historic theater in the Grandin Village called Historic Grandin Theater. We also have Salem Red Sox, which is a professional baseball team.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of fun. And we always have festivals going on. And don't forget things like the farmers markets. Almost every municipality has their own farmers market where you can walk through and get fresh produce, arts and crafts sometimes there too. Some
And
pottery.
meats. I mean, you name it. You can
Absolutely.
get baked goods.
Flowers.
There's the lady in Salem that comes there every weekend. Not healthy for you, but oh my goodness, she makes the most delectable glazed donuts.
That's right.
You get them out, they're even better than Krispy Kreme. I like
And
them better than
honey.
Krispy Kreme.
Honey, there's all kinds of vendors in all of our farmers markets, so that's a great option. Also, let's talk about arts and culture, because I know a lot of people are interested in having a little culture in their life, so let's not forget that. There's tons of performing and visual arts that happen. I used to volunteer for Opera Roanoke. It was really fun. And then the Roanoke Symphony. The Jefferson Center has performances all the time. Mill Mountain Playhouse, that's a good one. Showtimers, and let's not forget all the museums. Can you name one museum? We've got a
The
bunch.
Center in the Square has
Yeah.
some in there.
Yeah, Science Museum,
There we go.
and then Taubman Art Museum. And let's not forget arts and culture. One of our favorite things to do is to go to outdoor concerts. There seems to be something going on every week, every weekend. And if you're just looking for true art, you will find lots of artist galleries and tons of studios nestled in throughout the Roanoke Valley.
Yes, you will. If you can think it, you can probably find it when it comes to things to do. And let's rewind just a little bit. Let's talk about Transportation Museum, because we actually had some folks that moved here for what reason?
For trains.
For
Their love for trains.
That's right. So
Yeah.
they were drawn to the valley because they're like, I want to live on a railroad track.
Right.
They closed on their property that backs up to a railroad track, and they're so excited. When you look at their survey, guess who their neighbor is?
The railroad.
The railroad.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, so anyways, so there's something for everybody here. We can help you out. So when you move to Roanoke, we want to make sure that you are able to stay in tip-top shape and ultimately the best of health possible.
Absolutely. There's 3 major medical facilities here that you can go to for help. We've got LEWISGALE Medical Center, which has a 4-star rating. And then also we've got CARILION Clinic. It's the region's only level 1 trauma center. And they have over 70 medical specialties. So I just learned that fact. Thought that was really
That's a
interesting.
lot, and they are continuing to grow. I saw a picture on Instagram and on Facebook today where they're building a new Crystal Spring Tower. So
Oh, yeah, that's
they are
right.
doing things to grow in order to be able to serve the community for their healthcare needs.
Stay innovative.
That's
on
right.
Top of
Yep.
things, for sure. There's also the Salem VA Medical Center, which includes like long-term care, primary care, and some more services too.
Yeah, so if you're a veteran and you're thinking about moving here, we have heard nothing but great things about the VA here in Salem and how awesome they do at taking care of their veterans and their
Yeah.
patients.
And we've had helped quite a few patients, excuse me, not patients, quite a few clients that have moved here specifically for jobs at the VA. So it's a very attractive place to work.
It
too.
is, yeah, absolutely.
And not to mention like specialists. I'm not going to go into all the specialists, but we have specialists here from chiropractors to orthopedics to cancer center. So you can find any of those specialists that you need right here in the Roanoke Valley, and lots of rehabilitation centers too.
There you go. So if you get hurt by chance when you're out and about being active, we got a place you can rehab real well. So those of you who are retiring down here in Roanoke, you want to stay active, and I have told myself one day when I do retire, I'm going to stay active, whether that's working or volunteering.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to work anymore, you got a great pension, you got a great retirement plan, and you want to volunteer to make an impact in the community, then you've got options.
That's right. Yeah, there's tons of activities you can do here. I'm going to talk about just a few volunteer opportunities, but once you get plugged into the community, that's one of the fastest and best ways to meet people and make a difference. So we encourage you to do that.
And people are super friendly here and inviting on those fronts, by all means.
Yeah. And so I think of folks like the local Office on Aging. They could always use volunteers. Also the Roanoke Regional Airport. Any of those arts and theater companies I discussed earlier, and museums. They're always looking for volunteers. Food banks. I always think libraries would be a great opportunity too. School systems, they could use your help for sure. And wouldn't that be fun just to be around kids for a short time?
As grandma and grandpa, maybe.
That's right. And then the hospital systems, CARILION, LEWISGALE, they could always use a cheerful helper and a cheerful face to brighten the mood a little bit.
Oh, and let's not forget like civic organizations too, like Kiwanis Club, Rotary Club. I would say like the garden clubs here.
There's 14 garden clubs.
What?
Yeah,
Holy
14.
cow.
I looked that up. I was really surprised with that.
We're gonna try to be a little quiet because we're going by a fisherman. We don't want to mess up his trout fishing.
That's right. Yeah. Church committees, Habitat for Humanity. That's a big one.
That
We
is a
used
big
to
one, yeah.
volunteer for that.
Yeah, when we were down in Atlanta, we did some volunteer work for them for sure.
Yeah. And then the Good Samaritan Hospice, Cooperative Extension, and talked about gardening clubs. You could also be a part of the Master Gardener program. That would be really powerful.
Yeah, the lady who we bought our house from, she was involved in all of that, and our yard shows us. So now we just got to do a better job of
Maintaining.
taking care and maintaining it properly so it maintains its luster and beauty.
You can volunteer in our backyard if you want. And then one of your favorite things to do.
I won't say, I won't do the bird, but we're talking about the Roanoke Valley Bird Club, right?
Bird Club, yeah.
Yeah, so you can actually, there's tons of birds. I love watching the finches and oh, I see a snake on the greenway up ahead.
We're gonna pause this for a little snake interaction. Thank you. But it still scares you, doesn't it? It scares me.
All right.
We're back.
We're back after that snake interruption. So we don't see a ton of them around here, but when we do, I scream like a little girl and I get frozen because I do not like snakes. However, I do like being outside. So
Yeah, it was a
there you go.
little black snake, so
Yeah.
those are the good kinds.
Nobody was harmed during, no
filming.
animals were harmed during the filming of this video on the Greenway today.
Yeah, so back to activities. Let's talk about senior centers. There's a senior center located in every quadrant of the valley.
Okay.
And they offer a lot of things. Like I always think about traveling. You could be a traveling fool if you wanted to. You could go all over the place. And remember, we said it's really convenient to get to various places.
Yeah, like Washington, D.C., Charlotte, North Carolina, New York. They're all
West
within
Virginia,
driving distance, like 8 hours or less.
Right, and so they do travel trips, they do amusement, exercise, sheer companionship, and any other mental and physical forms of stimulation. So you can really enjoy yourself, make new friends, and stay active.
So on the same lines of activities, places you can get involved in, let's talk about recreation.
Recreation. As you can see, we're recreating now. We're enjoying a nice flat walk on the Greenway. There, we have such an elaborate, long, connected Greenway trail throughout the whole valley. It is really fantastic. I can't encourage people enough to visit the Greenways and the Blueways now, which are the river trails that we have throughout this area. It's really fantastic.
Yeah, not only greenways for walking and that type of thing, we've also got a lot of hiking trails. We also have mountain biking trails, right? So, and they go anywhere from easy to hard, so you've got options no matter what your ability is at the time whenever you get here, and you can work your way up to the harder ones.
Yeah, and that kind of goes for everything. If while we're talking about the outdoors, we've got the Appalachian Trail here. There's hikes that we could take our 6-year-old on, and there's some that I need to work up to.
So we're not going, oh, my legs are on fire.
Right. And then we've got the Blue Ridge Parkway, which has always been coined America's most beautiful scenic drive. And you can drive it or you can bike it. So it's a nice place to bike.
Yep, you see lots of bikers out there, and part of it is actually closed right now, the Roanoke River Bridge out there. So make sure if you're visiting, check out what the detours are for that.
Right. And then another option is what you may have seen in the background here are some fishermen, and women, but there's lots of fishing opportunities and boating opportunities along all the streams we have, and also Smith Mountain Lake.
Oh yeah, don't forget about the lake. Yeah, you can wakeboard, you can ski, you can take a pontoon boat and go fishing. Yeah. You name it, you can do all sorts of water sport recreation down there.
And also CARVINS Cove, which was one of the largest municipal parks in the nation.
Yep.
And that has plenty of opportunities, hiking, biking, boating,
paddleboarding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't forget about that.
Kayaking. Let's see, so we talked about greenways and hiking trails. There's also a couple of annual races that draw a lot of retired folks so that they can enjoy and stretch have a goal to finish and stretch their,
there you go.
What am I saying? Stretch their
limits?
Yeah, that's good. Thank
there we
you.
Go.
There's a Star City Marathon, and also Thanksgiving Day they have the Drumstick Dash. So those are pretty popular.
And that's a big fundraiser for the rescue mission here.
Yeah, and then talking about training for some of those things, or just ongoing training, we've got a bunch of YMCAs in the valley. I'm gonna put you on the spot again. How many do you think we have?
5, because I read my notes before we got started.
Good job.
And there's a brand new one out in Botetourt County that everybody raves about as far as location. They got a great outdoor, not recreation area, but
the playground?
Playground, that's it,
And
yeah.
it's handicap accessible, so I really like that as well. But lots of classes you can take at elder care facilities, local gymnasiums, do things like yoga, pool exercises, or more strenuous things like body pump and Tabata. But
well, I was talking to a client yesterday, and they're like, I was doing Romanian deadlifts yesterday, I think, or some sort of squat. So I was like, okay, you go for it, man. Get it done.
Yeah, and I'm just learning about this Silver Sneakers program, which is a pretty extensive program. There's lots of facilities and classes in the area, so that would be cool to look into. And then one thing I think about when I think about retiring is dancing.
Dancing, huh?
Dance
revolution, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
Are you talking about like ballroom dancing,
I think I'm talking about ballroom
like waltzing, shagging, those types of things?
Shagging would be fun. We should learn how to shag.
Yeah.
But dancing is really popular here. We have the Roanoke Valley Shag Club.
Oh, see?
Yeah, Dance for Fun, USA Dance, the Dancing Duo, and I'm sure there are more.
Well, and all you got to do is just go to a concert on Friday night here in the valley during the summer, like last weekend. We're seeing Gasoline Alley, which is they're slowing it down was Ozzy Osbourne, right?
Yes, but they have a lot of beach music at this particular After 5 event in Salem. But there's like concerts and festivals all over the place, depending on what music you're into.
Well, and what I was getting at though is like even at Gasoline Alley, there were still people out there shagging to arena rock. So how cool is that?
It was really neat. That was a fun time. There's always people out and about wanting to meet others and have a good time.
Whoo-wee! All that activity here in Roanoke is like wearing me out. I need a little break.
Well, this is perfect that we have a little bench here. And it gives me a chance to read this magazine that my best friend gave me that she found in her uncle's house. It is from 1988 and it's talking about the grain of Roanoke. So it was really interesting to take a blast from the past and check out some of the pictures and amenities and vendors, and I'll say we've come a long way and there's lots to do for the retiring folks that choose to move to Roanoke.
Yeah, and let us know what you think the average price of, what was it, a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house was in 1988. We know the answer. Let us know what you think it is. What are you interested in?
Yeah, I mean, it could be anything. Recreation, it could be... Okay.